throes of the coronavirus pandemic, so unnaturally, politics is our focus. And impeachment number 2 seems to be on its way with some extra stupid thrown in for bad measure. I'm Katie Petrick, and this is Healthy Republic. When the world is hunkered down, panicked about getting COVID-19, not knowing if we will ever return to work, why wouldn't politics and impeachment be of utmost priority? That's how our politicians roll. And impeachment is the Magnum Opus that is Adam Schiff's existence. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. He is a tool. And he doesn't belong in the House of Representatives. But he does have somewhere else to be.
The Tool Academy.
Question of the day. If Adam Schiff went to Tool Academy, what lesson would he need to learn first? Now back to it. Shifty put out a tweet on April Fool's Day, and while he wasn't joking, the tweet was put out by a fool. Schiff tweeted, "After Pearl Harbor and 9/11, we looked at what went wrong to learn from our mistakes. Once we've recovered, we need a nonpartisan commission to review our response and how we can better prepare for the next pandemic. I'm working on a bill to do that." No, he's not. He's working on a bill to argue for another hoax of an impeachment against President Trump. This independent commission that he's talking about will probably be led by him and include anyone else who already wants another impeachment hearing. You know who they are.
It's getting worse.
This calls for a team beam, and fast. Let our powers combine.
I rise to support the impeachment of President Donald J. Trump.
Fire!
He has attempted to conceal the evidence from Congress and from the American people.
Winged!
An impeachment that will last forever.
Water!
Donald Trump was already a danger to this country.
Impeach 45!
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. God bless!
Here are the chairmen of the relevant House committees approaching the microphone.
As you saw, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi was in that montage. And this week, she also showed her perspective.
When did this president know about this? And what did he know? What did he know and when did he know it? That's for an after-action review. But as the president fiddles, people are dying. And we just have to take every precaution.
But are you saying that his downplaying ultimately cost American lives?
Yes, I am.
Oh, but her fiddling 1 month ago in San Francisco's Chinatown is A-OK.
It's exciting to be here, especially at this time, to be able to be unified with our community. We want to be vigilant about what it might be on what is out there in other places. We want to be careful about how we deal with it, but we do want to say to people, come to Chinatown. Here we are. We're, again, careful, safe, and come join us.
That's not 6 inches, much less 6 feet.
Get away from me!
On Thursday, Pelosi announced the creation of a special House panel. This panel will oversee the handling of the coronavirus pandemic and monitor the Trump administration's handling of the $2 trillion relief package. And according to CNBC, on a conference call with the press, Pelosi said the committee will root out waste, fraud, and abuse, and protect against price gouging, profiteering, and political favoritism. Waste, fraud, and abuse. I think now we're just listing Pelosi's resume.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Let's turn now to the other attention whores. Insert CNN's Jim Acosta, who's supposed to be reporting on the White House, but is actually the little tyke always yelling for Trump to look at him in some weirdly obsessive way. He's also been trying to be paid attention to by acting a fool. As he tends to do, Acosta brought his own soapbox into a press briefing to try and get an answer to his own narrative. Brace yourself, because this one is long-winded.
This may be an uncomfortable question. What would the models have looked like that Dr. Birx and Dr. Fauci showed us if we had started these social distancing guidelines sooner, in February or January, when China, South Korea were doing those sorts of things?
Well, I'm going to let them answer that.
In terms of what information we're getting from them. But if we had started these practices sooner, could these models be different right now?
I'm going to let them answer the question. Remember this, and again, I say it, and everybody says it. You know who says it better than anybody is Dr. Fauci.
Because you understand the painful part of my question, and please, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, we understand, but we can't answer it
to, saying if we had started this sooner, we might not have 100,000 to 200,000 Americans dying.
Well, that makes an assumption
that it was here. There was a lot back here that we didn't see. And until we had the antibody test, I can't really answer that.
But we were watching South Korea, and China and Italy, and we weren't taking action when those countries were spiking.
Sure. In a perfect world, it would have been nice to know what was going on there. We didn't, but I believe, Jim, that we acted very, very early in that.
Hoofda. You're welcome, because that was actually the truncated version of what Acosta all said. But let me get this straight. Chinese travel was restricted at the end of January. At that time, the news media said taking such action was actually xenophobic. And then they said Trump downplayed it, claiming that he said it was all a hoax, but Trump didn't mean the virus was a hoax. And then Trump takes direct action with Dr. Fauci and others, and now the media is saying that Trump isn't doing enough.
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
Can we just be honest and end this all together, knowing that the entire government and the news media had a bad response initially? The CDC, the FDA, what's coming out of the World Health Organization, the panic at the disco from the media, all of it wasn't good. And part of this may be due to the fact that we simply don't know anything. We don't have all the answers that we're looking for. China clearly hasn't been forthcoming, and we'll probably never know the truth out of them because, you know what? Communists don't like to share. So while government response is slow, and that's all because of bureaucracy, those who have been good are the private industries. And yet now the news media and the Nancy Pelosi's of the government are targeting them. I'm specifically referring to the media's treatment of Mike Lyndell, CEO of MyPillow, who stood next to President Trump this week as it was announced that his company was turning 75% of the workforce into making face masks to protect our healthcare workers, which is great news. But no, not great news for the media, because Mike, a Christian man who overcame drug addiction and who donates to help others battling, he dared to send words of encouragement to the nation.
God gave us grace on November 8, 2016 to change the course we were on. God had been taken out of our schools and lives. A nation had turned its back on God. And I encourage you to use this time at home to get back in the Word, read our Bibles, and spend time with our families. Our president gave us so much hope where just a few short months ago, we had the best economy, the lowest unemployment, and wages going up. It was amazing. With our great president, vice president, and this administration, and all the great people in this country praying daily, we will get through this and get back to a place that's stronger and safer than ever.
Amen. And then the media's collective minds exploded because anything that's tied to Trump is simply awful. And they don't want to give any attention to anyone other than themselves.
I'm not actually sure, if you want to be honest, that we should carry that live. I think we should run snippets. I think we should do it afterwards and get the pertinent points to the American people, because he's never, ever going to tell you the truth.
And then, of course, look at me, Jim, wholeheartedly agreed not to give a full briefing, even though he cried for months and months about not having enough access.
I think these briefings could be, better designed. The president could come out, say a few words in terms of what his administration is doing, not have these, PR stunts like Mr. Pillow coming out and giving a plug for his company and that sort of thing.
And finally, Rachel Maddow's twin brother, or close enough.
It's obviously above my pay grade. I don't make the call that we take them or not, but it seems crazy to me that everyone's still taking them when you got the MyPillow guy getting up there talking about reading the Bible.
Because of his response, I ordered 2 pillows for MyPillow. I really should let Mike know that Chris Hayes referred me. We are all learning the wrong lessons from this entire thing. We are learning to panic, to give everything over to the government, and to take advantage of the panicking by politicking. Acosta, Schiff, all the rest of them want you to focus on their narrative. And their narrative is ripe with politicking to cause panic. You see how this whole thing goes? We should all be more like Mike. Be kind, help each other, pray, and use this time to learn the word. Until next time, stay healthy, America.